Hey everyone, I'm Krista Novisky. Welcome to the Best Health Positively podcast. And I'm so happy to be here today and to get into this conversation. I wanted to focus on this today because I think it can be a simple shift, yet really powerful. And I think it's really where it all begins. And the shift I'm talking about is asking ourselves how we show up day to day. How do you show up? And you may wonder what I mean by showing up. And what I mean is, what's your attitude like, your mindset as you go into your day? What kind of energy do you bring to the day? As you wake up in the morning, what are the thoughts running through your mind? Or if I were to ask someone close to you how you show up each day, what would they say? Now, let me be clear here. There's no judgment because I think we all ebb and flow, and we've all experienced times where our attitude isn't great. I know I have, and that's okay. That's real life. But I also think we can learn from those times and do better. I think some of the things we'll talk about here are small shifts in effort, but can really make a big difference. I heard a very simple quote years ago, and I don't remember the exact quote, but I've always remembered the idea, the gist of it. And that was, you are responsible for the energy you bring to your life, your attitude, the way you show up to your work, your interactions, and your relationships. And I really liked this because it reminded me that it really is up to us. It's our responsibility, not everyone else's, to decide how we'll show up. That's our choice every day in every situation. Now, just an aside here. You may be someone who's already into mindset and you work on this daily and you're where you want to be. And if so, that's awesome. This is probably reinforcing, so just keep doing what you're doing. But if not, and if it's something you want to work on, as many of us do, it's important to know that we can take these small steps to make this shift. It doesn't have to take a long time, and it's not hard. I'll get into the details in just a few minutes, but first, let's take a look at a basic example where we can see easily how mindset can shape the way our day unfolds. So I'll use myself, an example from my own life. I teach an early class this semester. In fact, it's 8:30 on Monday mornings. And now I've got to say here, full disclosure, I am a morning person. So this early morning class doesn't bother me a bit. But let's say I wasn't a morning person, hypothetical situation. And on Monday mornings, I woke up and immediately thought, this class is so early. Why'd I agree to teach this class? I'm so tired. And then hit snooze. And then when I did wake up, I ended up rushing through my morning and then got to class. How do you think I'd be showing up for my students? Probably not too well. But that would have been my choice. I would have started my day by complaining about the situation, and that just leads into a negative spiral. So there's no way I'm going to be able to show up on top of my game for my students. But let's step back and broaden our scope a little bit. Even more importantly than one specific situation, let's just consider generally how we start our day. We can decide to set the tone for the day and decide to be all in with a positive outlook, for example. And just having an awareness about this can be powerful because it reminds us that it's something that is in our control, that we choose. And we don't just choose this once, we make this decision many times throughout the day. And that, my friends, gives you so much control over your day in the way it goes. But on the flip side, if you do nothing to set your mindset proactively, you'll likely be in what I call default mode. And that means your attitude results from reacting to the things going on around you or thoughts that are rolling through your head. But just recognizing that it doesn't have to be this way is the first step. Now, it's important to mention here, of course, there are many factors that can shape our mood or attitude. You might be thinking, well, that's all well and good, Krista, but I've got 2 kids to get ready for school. Or I really don't like my job at all. And I'd say to those things, yes, that may very well be true. But it's also true that you still have a choice to decide what your approach will be. And knowing that you have control over that can be empowering. Of course, there'll be things that come up, the people you're with, what's going on around you, that can impact you. And yeah, I get that. But we don't have to absorb what's going on around us. Instead, how about approaching this proactively? So you might be wondering, how can I take this proactive approach? What does this look like? Well, I'm going to suggest an exercise that's pretty easy here to get you started. So just take a moment to check in and ask yourself, what's your attitude right now in this moment? Don't try to sugarcoat it. Just let yourself be candid so you have a legitimate starting point. And then also ask yourself, What things have contributed to my emotional state, my attitude right now? And again, just a reminder, if you're someone who's already into mindset and you're already where you want to be, that's awesome. Just keep doing what you're doing. But if not, and you want to work on this, we have a starting point. So the first step is brainstorming and choosing an attitude or mindset that you'd like to bring to the situations in your life, your work, your relationships, family time, whatever that might be. For example, you might say, I want to embrace a sense of ease and calm. Or you might say, I want to focus on being more positive and do less complaining. Or you might decide to stop beating yourself up with negative thoughts. The possibilities are endless, but you get to decide. It'll probably be a little bit different for all of us since we're all working on different things. So think about that, brainstorm that. And once you've decided what that looks like for you, choose a situation that you'd like to change your attitude or mindset around. Maybe that's going into work tomorrow or spending time with your family tonight. After you choose a situation, think about one thing you can do to make this easier for you to choose the mindset or attitude that you desire to show up in the way you'd like. So, for example, you might say, well, waking up 15 minutes earlier would make all the difference in my mornings. So try that tomorrow. Or you might say, allowing myself to relax for just a few minutes before I pick up the kids would really help me to be more calm and enjoy my family time. Whatever it is, try it. Start with something small and just make a small shift. But the key understanding here about mindset is that if you do nothing to set your mind proactively, you'll likely be in that default mode, which means your attitude results from reacting to the things going on around you. Or, on the flip side, it can be something you intentionally choose, so you get to decide. I'll share with you a couple ideas of my own. I know that when I wake up early and take some time for prayer and reading in the morning, for example, before I get into the news and my phone or email or anything like that, if I take that time for some prayer and reading, I always get my day off to a good start. Or when I've had a busy day, if I can just take a few minutes at the end of the day to take a short walk, even 10 minutes, it allows me to relax and be more mindful in the evening. So those are just a couple of my personal examples, but I'd love to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you think might work for you. What kinds of things can you do to be able to show up the way you'd like to? Some examples I've heard from clients are inspirational reading, prayer, music, listening to an uplifting podcast, doing some sort of movement or exercise, journaling, deep breathing. I mean, these are just a few of the ideas, and I know you all have many more. I want to hear your ideas too, so I hope you'll message me. But the most important takeaway here, friends, is that we have a choice. If we do nothing and leave our attitude and mindset up to chance, it will be by default to a reactionary attitude based on what's going on around us. Or we can choose to be intentional about our mindset, our attitude that we'll bring to our work, our interactions, and our relationships. This is a really powerful practice. It doesn't take much time, but it has a big impact. I hope you'll give it a try and let me know how I can help. Leave a comment or message me, and I look forward to hearing from you. I will see you here again next time.